Let's talk supply chain. So welcome back, Bill from OneRail, and welcome to the show, Anna. How are you both doing today?
Doing great.
Yeah,
Thank you.
awesome. Well, I'm super excited to hear about the strategic alliance between the two of you. But before we do that, let's get into introductions. So Anna, we'll start with you and then we'll go to Bill.
Oh, perfect. I go first. So my name's Anna, and I have probably the best job at PepsiCo, and my job is to partner with brilliant entrepreneurs like Bill and with the PepsiCo partners, leaders, and try to find solutions for their problems. So
Awesome. I love that. And what's it called? It's called PepsiCo Labs,
yes.
right?
So we are the tech venture and innovation side of PepsiCo.
And how did you decide that you wanted to do that? Like find different technologies to disrupt? What's the origin story of that?
That's a very cool story. Not sure if we have time. That will take over
Very
the
short
podcast.
version.
But 6 years ago, Ramon's our current CEO, visited Israel. And Israel is a very large ecosystem for many startups, many technology, kind of breakthrough solutions. And he had this idea of how should PepsiCo partner with the external universe of breakthrough technologies.
Love that.
And so that was kind of the start.
Awesome.
And that's where we started with a complete white paper to figure out what is the best way for PepsiCo to engage.
A blank picture,
Yes.
right?
And we developed a model that's been working for us ever since.
Awesome. I love that. And you are part of this story now.
We
So
are.
Bill, tell everybody who you are, what you do, a little bit about OneRail.
Before I do, that makes you an entrepreneur in and of yourself. You did a startup in a much bigger company, which it sounds exciting. We OneRail, last mile execution platform. Been doing this now for 6 years, and I was really fortunate to meet Anna and PepsiCo Labs real early in our journey. We had just raised a seed round, and what we were doing at the time is we were helping our customers deliver from warehouse to repair shop. Our only customer at the time was American Tire Distributors. That's how early it was in our journey. So I got that call from Anna and had a great conversation. And PepsiCo has been right at our side through this whole journey, a true partner, really giving us great advice. It's one of the best things you could get is understanding from your customer what you're doing right and what you can do better. And I got to say, Anna personally as a partner has done that for us. PepsiCo as a customer has done that for us. So here we are today. We're doing around 300,000 deliveries a day.
Wow.
It's been something we've been real blessed to grow into retail now and outside of the wholesale channel, growing into healthcare, and really just starting to expand, even beyond the United States.
So Anna, you reached out to OneRail.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is amazing because I think this is such a great story because this is how
Please tell us. I love stories.
incredible this partnership between big startups or big companies, small companies, because obviously they have the solution, we have the problem, but also they have the expertise, the entrepreneurial mindset, they can move fast, but we have the business expertise and the deep industry understanding. And I think when we're able to feed that back, and this is where the magic happens.
And so
Absolutely.
how did you find OneRail to pick up the phone and give them a call and say, hey, we might want to partner?
So that is part of the labs model and what we've built. We have a very pragmatic approach. We want to solve problems in the business versus, have shiny toys, say a lot of buzzwords and tick boxes. And we start with what is the need. At the time, the need was how can we expand our last mile offering for our customers and complement our own private fleet. And we were looking to solve specific problems, and we just scouted the universe. We scouted.
Universe. How do you do that? Do you just go into a browser and
Kind of.
type in last mile delivery?
So we have a very vast VC network. We reach out to all of our friends and family in the ecosystem. We ask our peers in other companies. We do research, desktop research. So through all of this, we create a funnel of hundreds of solutions. We start digging deeper and deeper and deeper until we get the winners.
That's
and
a
then
lot of
we
work.
find it's a lot of work. But that is probably why we have a very high success rate, and probably half of our pilots, the companies we end up piloting, succeed and go into PepsiCo and become, integrate into our ecosystem. OneRail is one of them. So, and I think we do a lot of due diligence up front. I don't remember it.
There was a lot of diligence, and I got to say, one of the things that I was most impressed with going through the PepsiCo Labs experience was how transparent PepsiCo was around the North Star objectives of the company. And everything, all the innovation really rolled up to that really it was three core objectives when I went through that process back in 2021. I would assume it kind of works the same way today. Very objective driven, very strategy driven. We were glad to be a part of it.
That's awesome. I love that process. And I love that you talked about the diligence, right? The due diligence that you're obviously going to take to partner with companies to make sure that they are going to be successful, right? That's a lot of work. What impact do you think that you're making through some of these partnerships? And I'd love to get your perspective, and then I'd love to get like the impact from OneRail's perspective as well.
PepsiCo's value chain is very vast. We started the seed at the potato seed and we go all the way to the shelf. So we're vertically integrated. My team operates within this entire universe. Mm-hmm. And the impact we're looking to get with those partnerships is just solving problems. Anything from better ways to grow our potatoes and reduce the water consumption in our fields to better delivery of our products to our manufacturing. Yes.
Okay.
And if you've seen the Super Bowl commercial, but it really starts with the potato seed where a big amount of the world's potatoes are grown by PepsiCo and PepsiCo's farmers. So across this entire, very vast chain, we're looking to solve problems. With OneRail specifically, it was really the last mile.
Yeah.
We obviously have our own fleet. Most of our deliveries go on PepsiCo trucks.
Yeah.
But the smaller orders, we were not able to give the same service level to our smaller customers that order one case or a couple of cases a week. And we were looking to enhance our reach. And this is where OneRail is such a great partner.
Amazing. So from your perspective, what has that impact been like for you? I'm sure we'll get into a little bit more in depth a little bit later, but like high level, what's that impact?
At the highest level, PepsiCo has had an impact on our product roadmap.
Okay.
Have really been influential in understanding the intricacies of a product manufacturer. And you could also kind of put a wholesaler in a similar vein that has a big fleet, really big fleet. So then the question is, where can we make impact? And really understanding where we can make impact within a company that has a lot of resources, right? They have a lot of fleet resources, technology resources, a very diverse business. So for us, it had a profound impact on the product roadmap. I think it also really helped us understand the value equation, like Anna said, we're not a shiny thing.
Right.
We're working with business leaders at Pepsi that are highly focused on solving a very specific problem.
Okay.
So this wasn't a solution, hey, let's install it and see what happens. It was very purposeful. It was very, very methodical in the phases that we've rolled it out to the point where we are today. And now, just looking to keep doing more of it in more places.
I love the intentionality that you talk about, right? There's a purpose to it. You're going into it with purpose. So I know you said that you wanted the same service level for your smaller deliveries than at the same time as the ones that you do yourself. Was that the only challenge that you were looking to solve? And you said that it's been rolled out over a few different things. So what were some of those challenges you were looking to solve specifically?
So I think expanding, just adding capacity to delivery. Your own fleet can only deliver so much.
Yes.
So it's expanding that and being another extension of our last mile. It is improving the service for specific customers that just could not get the same service level. It is, we've since extended that to we're delivering merchandise, for example. We're getting better visibility through some orders that we did not have visibility into before. So all of that which grows our top line, increases our satisfaction and service levels to customers. Those were all of the KPIs we were trying to hit.
So how did you approach that with PepsiCo when they came to you and they had specific challenges that they wanted to solve? You said that it had an influence on your roadmap. Mm-hmm. How did you approach that? And this is a pretty large brand. I don't know about you, I'd probably be a little bit nervous. But what was that like for you?
Yeah, so it really comes down to be a good listener, right? PepsiCo had a very specific problem. What's interesting about OneRail is we can solve a lot of problems, right? We can solve a fulfill from store problem. We can fulfill to job site. We have a lot we do in the auto parts space, but their problems were a little bit nuanced and a little bit different. So like we do with any customer, we go into it realizing that they have a very discrete use case, a very discrete problem. They have their own workflow, and we were, very consultative, good listeners. They challenged us, and I think it's been a great partnership from a collaboration standpoint. There have been a lot of operational changes that had to happen at the warehouse level, that are not easy, that only come through trial and error. And so we've now, I think, really perfected a model where we're fulfilling with small couriers out of a very large warehouse that's notoriously done full truckload or LTL or parcels. So introducing a new mode is not trivial. And the amount of operational work that we've done together, I think, in learning that's been probably one of the biggest parts of the journey, the give and take of that.
Can you give us a glimpse and sort of walk us through what that's looked like? Like, what's the levels in the company that you've had to work with at PepsiCo to really make sure that you were, and to do all that testing?
Yeah.
Because I love the fact that you're open-minded to, like, you're not going to solve everything on day one, right? You're willing to work together, you're willing to test, you're willing to see where it goes and make some pivots, which is really, really important to a technology company like OneRail. You said that you had influence on the warehouse. Was it their warehouse that had to make some changes?
Entirely, yeah.
So give us a glimpse into what that looks like.
Do you want me to take a shot at that?
Yeah, of course.
So it starts with, we've worked with operational leaders that are really running last mile and fulfillment, all the way to Greg Roden, the COO, who we've had on sites with.
Wow.
So, and everybody in between. So Anna has been an unbelievable quarterback of that process to make sure that we're getting really the right exposure to the right people at the right time.
Yeah.
And as we expand the program, making sure there's strategic alignment. I can say operationally, there's been a lot of OneRail time in the warehouse.
Okay.
And that's what it takes. It's their warehouse, it's their process. We're serving PepsiCo. So that's the way we approach it. There's no one way to implement OneRail. So kind of what I said before, the flexibility and the ability to collaborate, the ability to say, you know what, we have to do it this way because this is how PepsiCo needs to make it work within their operational framework. And there's certain times where we have to challenge and push back a little bit and say, hey, this is a different mode. Think about yard management for a bunch of independent couriers versus over-the-road truck, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of work that went into the receiving, for example. What happens when a driver shows up at this massive facility in Grand Prairie, Texas? Who do they talk to? How do you protect that if you're PepsiCo? How do you make sure it's secure?
Yeah.
How do you make sure they can check in, minimize time? Those are all the operational steps that it's taken. Yeah. And we'll never be done learning, right?
Yeah.
We'll never be done refining.
Well, and you're an extension of their business. You are essentially going to those small, independent companies that you want to service at the same level, right? And so how did you handle some of that, push-pull when it came to, some of the suggestions?
I think we're very open. I guess building on what Bill said, the partnership is at two levels. One is we need to make sure this is strategic. It fits within PepsiCo's vision, and that is the relationship with our COO, Greg Roden, et cetera. And then you need the hands-on expertise with people seeing how it works. And always going into a pilot, your assumptions are very different from reality. We assume things will break. We assume things will fall apart. We assume we'll be delayed, and we'll have a lot of unexpectancy. So I think we were very open to working with them, providing the feedback. They were open to getting the feedback and adjusting their products.
That's what you need from a partner, for sure.
Exactly. When we did a whole lot of tests, we're not sending a third party to be the face of PepsiCo without vetting them thoroughly. So they did a great job.
Awesome. Well, talk to me about some of the benefits that you've seen then by partnering and working with OneRail.
I think it is, we just increased top line. So it goes into selling more product, shipping more product to customers that were underserviced.
And then the business aspect to your customers and those customers, how has that gone down the line for you as far as benefits and customer experience? What does that look like?
We measure them on customer experience and on-time delivery, on tracking, and until now it is all positive.
Okay, awesome. Would you agree with that?
I would, yeah.
Anything you want to add?
Well, I think you said it best. I mean, we feel like PepsiCo's customers, we're serving them through PepsiCo. And that's sort of our mindset with all of our customers. I mean, we serve our customer's customer. We're in no case are we working direct with consumer. It's always through a retailer, a wholesaler, a product manufacturer. This one's been special just because we've had, I think, a lot more collaboration at all levels. It's also one of our longest standing customer relationships. And it's one, again, the vastness of PepsiCo is unbelievable. I get excited when I think about the path forward just because there's just still so many things we can do together and problems we can solve.
Well, on that note, I want to ask you about 2025. What does that look like for this partnership and what you're doing? What do you have your eye on for 2025?
It's just expanding and finding more use cases and more ways to utilize OneRail. Because once you have this working machine, it's already established, we'll plug it into our systems. How do we expand it to more sites, cover more geographies, and just grow together? How can they develop more solutions and service our future problems?
Service the future problems. I love that. I mean, none of us have a crystal ball, right? So you need to work with a partner that's going to be able to scale with you and grow when disruptions happen, when things start pivoting. And I know that, the OneRail team is very flexible. Do you have anything to add to that? Like, what can we expect from your partnership?
It's hard to add to that. I mean, that summed it all up, but I could say we're maniacal about operationalizing what we've already built too. I love new solutions. We're all about building new things, right? That's what a tech company should do best. But I also get excited about thinking, how do we do what we've already, I think, put a lot of effort in more places? That's also equally exciting to me, and that's something I know we continue to introduce new warehouses and new markets, and but the innovation is always, that's what gets us up in the morning. So yeah.
I am so excited about the future of supply chain. I say that collaboration is the future of business all the time. People are tired of me saying it, but honestly, talking to the two of you, hearing about the partnership, how you've worked together, how you create such partnerships and innovation within PepsiCo Labs, and how you've been able to take that and really drive it forward and create that customer experience that PepsiCo was looking for. I mean, I love to hear it. I love a good story. This is an amazing story. Bill and Anna, thank you so much for joining me on the show today.
Always good to see you.